This gorgeous photos of Queen Elizabeth II, back when she was Princess Elizabeth. She is standing next to Princess Philip, Duke of Edinburgh, who was then known as Lieutenant Philip Mountbatten. The couple is posing for an official photograph following their marriage. The wedding took place at Westminster Abbey on November 20th, 1947. Refugees entering New York City. This is an image of World War II refugees seeing the Statue of Liberty for the first time, as they entered the United States in 1946. Following World War II, hundreds of Jewish refugees and Holocaust survivors were welcomed to the United States to give them the chance of starting a new and better life after the horrors they had endured. Here a group of refugees are arriving in New York City. Paris flood in 1924. This photograph captures 1924's Paris's flood. The water levels have risen so high that citizens were unable to cross over the road without getting completely drenched in cold water. A group of people came up with a solution to build a bridge out of whatever they could find. They ended up making a long line of chairs so people that could cross from one side to the other without getting their clothes ruined. In terms of impressive backdrops, you can't get much cooler than an actual tornado. This woman is not posing in front of a green screen, she is actually striking a pose in front of a real-life, dangerous tornado in 1989. The tornado may have been in distance, but you can actually see her hair being dramatically blown in the strong winds. This rare photo is of the Supremes, Martha and the Vandellas, the Temptations and Smokey Robinson, and the Miracles, all posing for a photograph in the mid-1960s. The Titanic was one of the biggest ships ever constructed, and its unique design required some unique and innovative solutions for even the most basic of its moving parts. This photo shows the making of Titanic's anchor chain. While anchor chains are generally massive, the Titanic's dwarfed any that ever came before it. Considering the Titanic's weight at 52,000 tons, nothing but the biggest, sturdiest chain would do to keep the big ship anchored. They say that drones changed the aerospace industry, so the irony is not lost on us that a drone was used to photograph rows upon rows of retired F-4 Phantoms and T-38 Talons on the grounds of the Aerospace Maintenance and Regeneration Group, also known as a boneyard. Abraham Lincoln, indicated by the red arrow, arrives at the dedication of the Soldiers' National Cemetery in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, November 19, 1863, not long before delivering his Gettysburg's address. Orville and Wilbur Wright's historic 1903 flight in Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, made them household names. As much as we revere that moment, how many of us have actually seen the image, snapped just seconds after takeoff, of history being made? The Surrounded film famously documents the assassination of President John F. Kennedy, but the image taken just after the fatal shooting of Robert F. Kennedy is less known. Kneeling beside Kennedy on June 5, 1968, is a waiter named Juan Romero, who happened to be shaking the senator's hand when the assassination happened. The capture of Saddam Hussein on December 13, 2003, 9 months after the beginning of the US-led invasion of Iraq, American forces captured the leader Saddam Hussein in a farmhouse. While the war generated heated debate at home, this capture marked a decisive moment in the Iraq War and larger war on terror. Pearl Harbor like you've never seen it before. Any photos of the December 7, 1904 attack on Pearl Harbor exist, but none illuminates the moments quite like this one. While other images of exploding ships provide a sense of chaos, this image, with stunned soldiers in the foreground, brings the true scale and anarchy of the destruction into focus. The San Francisco earthquake of 1906, with at least hundreds more deaths than Pearl Harbor, the San Francisco earthquake of 1906 remains the second deadliest disaster in US history. The quake began on the morning of April 18th, and by the time it ended, the quake had leveled about 90% of the city and left 225,000 homeless and at least 3,000 dead. The shot that started World War I. The oversimple version of the story goes that the World War I began when this Serbian nationalist assassinated Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria on June 28, 1914. Here we can see police arrest the man who started it all. However, some scholars say that the photo actually depicts the arrest of an immediate bystander,